Berry Bark Pages presents.
When Lily woke up, she was lying in a ditch, soaked to the bone and barely able to move. Her body ached in ways she couldn't begin to describe, like every bone had shattered and been put back together wrong. But that wasn't the strangest part. As she sat up, groaning through the pain, she noticed something deeply unsettling. Her skin. There were stitches, thin, dark threads tracing along her arms, her legs, even across her ribs. She looked like she had been sewn back together. Panic rose in her chest. Her memory came rushing back in jagged fragments. The rain, the heartbreak, running into the street, the car. She had been hit. She knew she had. The impact was real. But then, what happened? Did the person who hit her stop and try to help? And more disturbingly, who had stitched her back together? And why? Lily knew she couldn't stay in the ditch. What if someone saw her? How would she explain the stitches, the blood, the way she looked? With her mother always working, no matter the hour, the only place she could go was home. But walking hurt, every step was agony. Her body screamed, yet something deeper inside had awakened. A burning passion, a rage she had never known. As she moved through the empty streets, she noticed something was different. Her pace was faster, unnaturally fast. Her vision sharpened, crystal clear, as though she could see every crack in a window from blocks away. She stared at a lit apartment window in the distance and could make out the pattern on the curtains. This had to be a dream, or punishment, or both. Still, she kept walking. Dawn was breaking, and she didn't want to be out in the open any longer. When she finally made it home, she dragged herself into the shower, desperate to feel clean. But the water felt like acid against her skin. She cried out as it hit the stitched wounds, still raw and bleeding. And then came the hunger. It wasn't ordinary hunger. It was primal, consuming. She tried everything: chips, bread, even raw meat from the freezer. But each bite came back up, her body rejecting it with violent shudders. Nothing satisfied her. Nothing filled the void. Then she heard it. A voice, soft and humming, passing outside her house. Curious, she looked out the window and saw a man walking down the sidewalk. And then something strange happened. She could smell his feelings. The sweetness of joy, the warmth of love, the comfort of belonging. It radiated from him like perfume, and she wanted it. She needed it. The ache in her gut twisted into something unbearable. She threw on a black hoodie and jeans, grateful for the chill in the air that allowed her to hide her stitched skin. Her hunger roared now, wild and unrelenting. She sprinted outside, stopping the man in the middle of the sidewalk, trying desperately to speak to seem normal. But nothing came out right. Her words were jumbled, erratic, and it frightened him, frightened her too. And then, she snapped. She grabbed him, drawn by instinct more than thought, and inhaled. Not his breath, not his soul, something more ephemeral, his happiness, his love. All of it rushed into her like a wave, filling her in ways food never could. It was intoxicating, electric, alive. Ironically, it was the most alive she'd ever felt, and that's when she realized she wasn't alive at all, not anymore. When the man collapsed, he was consumed by exhaustion, hollow and joyless. Lily got into the car, her hands trembling slightly as the door clicked shut behind her. Ashwin began to speak, his voice calm but urgent. He told her he had seen everything, from the moment she stood at the window to when she ran into the rain. Then came the part that made her blood run cold. "I saw the car that hit you," he said. "It was blue, speeding. It didn't stop. It was a hit and run." Lily's breath caught in her throat, but what came next left her speechless. "I'm the one who found you," I'm the one who stitched you back together, he said softly. I couldn't leave you like that. I had to save you. He went on to explain how he had done it, the steps he took, the care he gave. Then, in a quiet moment, he lifted his shirt just enough to reveal the faint line of his own stitches. It was then Lily realized he was like her. Shock washed over her. She stared at him, unable to find the words. Everything she thought she knew had just unraveled. She looked at him, her voice barely above a whisper. Why didn't you stay with me? Ashwin kept his eyes on the road, his tone calm. I wanted to see how you'd survive on your own, he said. I was watching you the whole time. If you really needed me, or if things went wrong and I had to destroy you, I was close by. Lily stared at him, stunned. You were going to destroy me? He nodded slightly. Only if I had to. A beat of silence passed between them before she asked, Am I the first one you ever made? He hesitated, then shook his head. No, he said simply. Where are we going? Lily asked, her voice rising with frustration. I have so many questions for you. Ashwin glanced at her calmly. I know you do, he replied, but there will be time for all of that. No, Lily snapped. I want to talk about it now. Thanksgiving is coming up. My mom's going to expect me at the family dinner. Ashwin shook his head. That life is over. You'll need to write her a letter. Tell her you're gone. Not just from the dinner, from her life. In fact, you'll need to leave the city, maybe even the state. Anger flared in Lily's chest. You didn't even ask me if this is what I wanted, she said, through clenched teeth. Maybe I didn't want to say goodbye to my family. Maybe I didn't want to go on living at all. What made you think I'd want to spend the rest of my existence with you? Ashwin let out a dry laugh. Oh no, he said, amused. We're not going to be together forever. That's not how this works. I saved your life. That's it. What you do with it now is up to you. I'm only here if things go terribly wrong, or if you need to be destroyed. Lily's fury reached a boiling point. She reached for the door handle, ready to throw herself from the moving car. But Ashwin didn't even flinch. That's your choice, he said, still cool. But I won't come back for you. You're not a child, and I've already told you what you are. No, you haven't, Lily hissed. Ashwin finally looked at her, his expression unreadable. Fine, he said. Let me spell it out for you. He paused, then said the word like a secret she wasn't meant to hear. You are a Morlise. Lily gasped. What? What is that? A Morlise, he explained, is an unalive being who feeds off joy. We seek out happiness, love, laughter, any form of emotional light. We crave it, we consume it, and we leave behind despair, emptiness, sorrow. Lily's eyes widened as his words sank in. That's how we survive, Ashwin continued. When we feed, our own pain fades. We feel whole again. We don't feel guilt, only relief. There's more to it than that, but it's too much to explain all at once. Just know, it's how we eat. It's how we live. What if I don't want to do that? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Ashwin gave her a small, almost pitying smile. That's your decision, but you'll grow hungry. The pain will come, and eventually, you'll probably give in. He looked ahead again. Think about it. You get to feel love, joy, power, without the fear of heartbreak. But if you don't feed, you'll start to fade, piece by piece, until you vanish from this world entirely. Lily stared at the passing scenery, trying to absorb everything. Her heart raced. Her thoughts spiraled. Then she realized they were still driving. Where are we going? She asked. Ashwin didn't hesitate. To the airport, he said. I told you, you can't stay here. I've already booked a flight. Milan, Italy. That's where I send all the new ones. Milan? It's beautiful, he said. A city that welcomes reinvention. No one asks questions. You'll have space to think, to decide who you are, without your family's expectations weighing you down. And that's what led us to where we are now. Lily has been living in Milan, Italy for 3 years. Within the first month of her arrival, she wrote a letter to her mother. Not overly sentimental, but honest in its own way. Dear Mother, I've run away to Milan, Italy. Please don't try to find me. I just need time to rediscover who I am and feel happiness again. Send my love to the family. Maybe one day we'll meet again. It wasn't dramatic, because truthfully, their relationship never had much warmth to begin with. Her mother was always working, always distant. Lily doubted she gave the letter much thought. Since then, Lily has been living exactly how she wants, drifting through cities, satisfying her hunger on whoever crosses her path. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. The only time things get messy is when they fight back. Sometimes it turns violent, sometimes it turns bloody, but Lily doesn't care. In truth, she's happy, genuinely happy. Living abroad was something she'd always dreamed of, and now it's her reality. Her apartment in Milan is grand and quiet, a sanctuary. She shops at high-end boutiques, sips espresso at cafes, and has transformed herself completely. Her style is refined now, elegant, striking, unmistakably beautiful. She hasn't seen Ashwin since that night, but she knows he's still watching. She can feel him, like a shadow on the edge of her new life. Still, she doesn't mind. Everything is going perfectly, or so she thinks, because that is about to change.